Hey guys, what's going on? It's Rose here, bringing you guys a brand new draft league for me. This is going to be the last one for Gen 8. Yeah, currently as it stands, it's week 3 in this league. I am taking over a team. This is for the TCL. It's a mid-tier league this season. In previous seasons, it was, I think, regular tiers. Not entirely sure. I'm very new to the community. My buddy Shadow invited me. This is going to be our overlapping content between now and Scarlet and Violet, which I will be doing Scarlet and Violet content. I'm really excited for that. I have an Elgato now, so that'll allow me to do all kinds of new content, and I'm really excited. But yeah, I'm debating on whether or not to do that as stream series or as a YouTube series, so in the comments below, let me know what you guys want me to do. But regardless, I did not draft this team like I said. This is a takeover, but I did make some trades. So yeah, we're gonna go ahead and go over the team. I'm really excited for this. This is gonna be a lot of fun. I'm hoping. The team has a lot of mons. Never fucking touched them. Very excited to use a lot of these mons. Like, first off, we got Mian Xiao. Gonna be Xiao Mian, because I'm very fucking original and couldn't think of anything. Yeah, base 100, 105 speed, 125 attack. It could be ran as a special attacker because it gets Calm Mind, and 95 base special attack. It's not bad. 3 decent abilities. Can't be intimidated with Inner Focus. Regenerator is always solid. And Reckless, if I want to run High Jump Kick, could be nuts. But yeah, you can see like this thing's coverage is really solid. It gets Close Combat, Blaze Kick, Knockoff, gets U-Turn. I mean, it gets a good bit of coverage, and it has some different ideas for some text that I might be able to run. But yeah, this is really just going to be a hard hitter. I mean, when you're thinking of like mid to low tier formats, 125 base attack is really fucking good, and fighting stab is very good because a lot of the lower tier mons are weak to fighting or not resistant. It's usually a bunch of normal and steel types, or just like obviously some lower tier mons that just don't take hits as hard. And Mian Xiao is one of those mons that's on the borderline. It usually is allowed in lower tier formats, but it's one of the best in the lower tier format, generally speaking. But yeah, very excited to use this. I've never used Mian Xiao before. But yeah, this thing's gonna be hitting hard, I'm hoping. Next up, we got Rolex the Steelix. Honestly, again, I think I have used Steelix before. But yeah, it's a bulky fit. I mean, you can see it's bulk. 75 HP is not bad. 85 attack is not bad. 200 defense, that's a lot. And plus, with its dual stab, it's hitting very hard. Heavy Slam hits very hard. Earthquake hits a lot of things for a lot of damage. Again, 3 solid abilities. Rockhead, if I want to head smash or something, I can do that. Sturdy is always solid for getting hit. If you're expecting to get hit by like a +6 something, you can roar it out. That's always an option. Sheer Force, if I want to be stupid and run some like Sheer Force Life Orb shit and just like, I don't know, try some shit. Who knows? But yeah, gets autotomized, so I can do that. Maybe make this base 30 speed stat viable. Who knows? Yeah, I get Dragon Dance, I get Curse, Crunch, Body Press is always a fun one. Aqua Tail, obviously, gets its ground stabs. Fire Fang, and it gets, I think, yeah, 2 of the Elemental Fangs, which is nice. High Horsepower, I know some teams have some, like, I know Thwacky is in the format. I'm not sure if it's a grassy terrain or not. But yeah, like, this thing gets a lot of coverage. It hits... for a 75 attack set, it actually hits surprisingly hard, mostly because Heavy Slam, just with its immense just weight, how heavy this thing is, it's going to hit very, very hard. Next up, we got Kodama the Trevenant. If I'm remembering correctly, because I looked this up like 2 days ago, Kodama, I believe, is a reference to a possessed tree in Japanese like mythology, I think. If you want to correct me on that, that's fine. But yeah, again, like all our mons so far have 3 solid abilities. Natural Cure could always come in handy in niche situations. Frisk is always good to see what they're running. And Harvest, if I want to be a twat, you're going to find out. Trust me. Yeah, I mean the coverage, surprisingly, like for a mon that I've never touched before. I've used Gorgeist before, which is a very similar mon. It's better than Trevenant generally. But this thing still gets some decent coverage. It gets Drain Punch, it gets Earthquake, it gets Foul Play, which maybe could come in handy. I mean, Horn Leech, Leech Seed, Magic Coat, so if I don't want to run, like, Defog on something one week, I can run Magic Coat, and that could still work. I mean, it gets Power Up Punch, it gets Rock Slide, it gets Shadow Claw, and a Poltergeist as well. Will-O-Wisp, Trick Room, so we have Trick Room options for things like Steelix to just kind of click Curse or something and, you know, click buttons. But yeah, next we got Twitter, the Cryogonal. If you know, you know. I've used Cryogonal before. I used it fairly recently, I believe. I think I used it in either the last season of NBA or FBL. I forget which. But yeah, this thing, it doesn't do a lot. Like, it'll defog, it'll spin. It could set up Aurora Veil in certain situations. I know Hail is one of the things that is in this format. There are teams that have weather in this. Yeah, Acid Armor, Knockoff. It gets Ice Shard, which could always come in handy for some priority. Hazing is always something that is needed on a team. I feel like getting that ability to just, if something's setting up and you're like, you know what, no, I have a mon that's base 105 speed that can just get rid of your stat boost, which is great for me. Doesn't hit super hard, can be ran offensively. I have ran it offensively, but generally it's very bulky on the special side, which goes very well with Steelix because these things do share a fire weakness. I am pretty fire weak right now. 3 of my 4 first mons are pretty fire weak, but you know, we're gonna end up fixing that. Next up, we got Duosion, Jello Shot the Duosion. 3 really good abilities. Magic Guard or Regenerator are always good. And Overcoat, again, it's a niche situation, but it still can come in handy. The stats aren't great outside of its special attack, but you have to think with Eviolite, you know, getting a 50% to both of these, that's basically, what, a base 75 and a base 80 defenses. Not too shabby for a bulky Psychic. And this thing, if you know what Reuniclus does, you know what this does. It basically does all the same things Reuniclus does. So I'm not going to go too in-depth with that. But yeah, honestly, I've used Reuniclus before. I did really well with Reuniclus. And so I'm really excited to use Duosion. Next up, we got Olivia, the Vivillon. I like Vivillon a lot. Honestly, I really do like Vivillon a lot. It's not necessarily great, but this was a tiers system, not a points system. So this is a tier 5. And for a tier 5, I mean, this thing it's not bad. 90 base special attack, 89 base speed. I'm kind of annoyed that its entire base stat total is an odd number because of this fucking thing right here. But, you know, we manage. Yeah, Quiver Dancing, you know, generally this thing's gonna be clicking Dual Stab, Quiver Dance, Sleep Powder is pretty much the 4 moves it's probably gonna end up running anytime I bring it. Who fucking knows? You know, but it does get some coverage, like it gets Energy Ball, it gets Defog, so, you know, there is that. It gets Aromatherapy, so we have a Cleric in that. A Hurricane is going to be great for stab, and with the Compound Eyes, it's going to be relatively accurate. Psychic, it can do some things. It can U-turn out, and, you know, anything like that. But who knows? This may not. It's probably not going to come much, but it could come in handy. Who knows? And honestly, I think it's a fun mon. And so far, I think our team is very fun. It's not necessarily great, but I'm not looking to win a lot of shit here. This is my last Gen 8 Draft League. I'm looking to dick around. That is my goal. That is it. Next up, I don't know why this next mon is allowed. I genuinely don't. I think in this format, this thing's just going to be two-shotting pretty much everything. We have Obstagoon. Simmons the Obstagoon. This thing, the reason I say this is stupid and it should not be allowed, we're allowed to have Guts. I don't know what they were smoking when they made these tiers, but for some reason they thought Guts Obstagoon was a good idea in mid-tier, low-tier, you know, whatever. I mean, the fact that this base 90 attack thing with guts, with facade and knockoff, and I mean, you see close combat, you see gunk shot, you see ice punch, seed bomb, thunder punch, X scissor. Like, there's just so much shit that this thing can do. I don't get it. I do not get why they allowed a 90 base attack, 95 speed, pretty bulky. Like, honestly, all around, this is a very well-rounded Pokemon, and they allowed it to exist. This should not be allowed in the format. I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna be completely frank. I don't think it should be allowed, but fuck it, we ball. Next up, we got Sebastian the Clawitzer. A mon, like, just like, the only mon I think, I've used 2 of my mons so far on my team, and honestly, I have no idea. Like, this is a lot of fun, and I'm really excited to use a lot of these mons. But yeah, Clawitzer, never used it before. 60 base speed, essentially, 90 in both its defenses, essentially, and 120 in its special attack. This thing hits very hard with Mega Launcher. Things like Water Pulse are going to be higher power now. Aura Sphere gets boosted. Dark Pulse gets boosted. Dragon Pulse gets boosted. I mean, this thing's going to be hitting very hard. You know, Shadow Ball, Sludge Wave, U-Turn. It gets Flip Turn as well. I mean, we could do a lot with this. And I'm very excited to see what this thing does. Base 60 in low tier, or mid tier, I guess this is what it is not, like, completely unusable. You know? Like, you can use a base 60 speed mon in low tier effectively. So definitely excited for that. Next up, you saw it. I'm a very smart man, and I tried to ignore it. But, you know, we got Bowser the Turtonator. It's only got the one ability with Shell Armor. But yeah, base 90 special attack, 135 defense, 85 special defense. This thing could Shell Smash. This thing also functions well in Trick Room because it's base 36 speed. Has decent coverage, nothing crazy, but I'm not looking for this to do a ton. I just like to have options when it comes to sweeping potential, and now we have Turtonator, we have Obstagoon that can bulk up and sweep, Vivillon that can do something, we have Duosion that can, Iron Defense, Calm Mind, Store Power. I mean, we have Swords Dance Mienshao, there's Curse Steelix, I believe this even gets a form of the setup, like Power Punch. Like this, I mean, we have a ton of setup on this team, and I have options. People can't just fixate on one thing, and I think that's gonna make, I don't think this is, again, this is not necessarily a good team. My hazard removal is dog shit. My hazard removal is a Turtonator, a Vivillon, and a Cryogonal. All 3 things are weak to fucking hazards, and that's my hazard removal. But here we are. But yeah, Turtonator, honestly, it's just funny. I've never used Turtonator. I never used it in Gen 7, didn't use it in Gen 8. We're gonna try it now. I'm excited to use it though. It is really cool. I really do like its design. I always loved Turtonator. I thought it was really cool. And honestly, I thought it was kind of underrated. Like, I don't think it's spectacular, but I think it's fun, and I think it's decent. And last but not least, I took this team over. I did not draft this team. This is not scripted. I promise. We have Roselia. We have Roselia. This is not a trade that I made. This was already on the team. Why? Like, I think it's hysterical that we basically got my former mascot before Rotom. And you know what? Honestly, Natural Cure is really solid for a mon that, I mean, yeah, it can aromatherapy, but it doesn't necessarily want to. EVLA infinitely makes this thing better. I mean, you're looking at a 120 base special defense and a, 45? That's like a base 70-ish defense stat. Like, somewhere around base 70. It's like 68 or maybe 69, something like that, right? But this thing does a couple things. It can aromatherapy. It can set up 2 different types of spikes. So we do have a lot of hazards setting, not a ton of removal. That's fine. It can synthesis, it can leech seed, it stun spores. It doesn't hit very hard. I mean, at base 100 is special attack is fine, but I'm never gonna really end up running a bunch of special attack investment into this thing. More likely than not, if I do, I've lost my goddamn mind. Honestly, I lost it years ago. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, I mean, this Mon, it's a solid, like, Eviolite Mon. And yeah, we have 2 Eviolite Mons, but that's fine. I'm honestly okay with that. So, I mean, hey, we got a team that may not make it very far. Honestly, who knows? We could make it to playoffs, we might not. My Gen 8 run has not been very good. But you know what? Like I said, we're not here to really win a ton of games. We're here to dick around. That is it. We are here to have fun and do stupid shit. Run stupid sets every now and again. You know what I mean? Like, that's my goal here. That's what mid-tier and low-tier is meant for. It is meant to fuck around. And that's it. I mean, it's meant for fun. So, I mean, that's usually what it is for Pokemon Draft League. But anyways, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get out of your hair. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. I have missed making content, and I'm really excited to start making content again. But also, huge shout out to Indigo. She made these brand new graphics. I'm super excited for all of these. I love them. I think they're great. And yeah, guys, again, thank you so much for watching. I really, really, really do appreciate it. And I will see you guys in the next one. Peace out.